What's up, YouTube? I'm Z, and this channel shows you the world through my lens. So, it's been, the current conflict has been going on, or the current round of the conflict has been going on for 42 days at the point of this recording. I dropped my video on my channel, I want to say 4 weeks ago. I've been in a really bad mental place since then, just waking up every day. And the first thing I do is I check all the journalists and all the pages that support and all the things that they've been posting. The journalists on the ground in Gaza. And I do that throughout the day. And then it's the last thing I do before I go to bed. And just the images, the videos, the things that I'm seeing. I think it's important to say that it's not normal. It's not normal for us to consume that type of content. Like, it's one thing when you're watching a movie, but when you know that what you're looking at is real, these are real people, real babies, real children, our minds have a hard time processing this level of devastation. And we're not even the ones that are there. We're doing it vicariously through a screen, right? So I just mentally needed a break. I wasn't in a good place to do my videos. I've been really consumed. I'm at the point now where, I said this in my other video where I was like talking about me coming back. I don't think that I feel the depression and the hopelessness that I was feeling. I think at the moment, the main feelings I feel are anger and frustration. And I'm inspired by the millions of people around the world that are coming together and are speaking up, because I've never seen that happen before when it comes to this particular topic, right? It was always like super taboo, ultra taboo, that you don't touch it. And now seeing people who are not from this region being able to speak up and talk about it is pretty amazing. So all of that to say, LowKey has been phenomenal. I watched so many of his interviews. He went on to peer, like, this dude is so knowledgeable. He's so well spoken, and he comes ready with like facts and references. Like he's got the names and the numbers of the resolutions. He's got the specific laws. He's got names of everything. Like, this dude is, I'm so impressed by him. My first exposure to LowKey was obviously Fire in the Booth. And this dude is phenomenal. So I found out that he has this series, Long Live Palestine. I believe that YouTube took it down. Now there's this other account that seems to have a version online. I'm going to try to react to it. There's a good chance I'm doing all this and I'm talking about all this and the video doesn't make it out, because if they took his video down, they might take this video down. So we'll see what happens. But this is Long Live Palestine. This video was at least 14 years ago. So this must have been like 2009, I believe. This is a good example for anyone who thinks this started on October 7th. If this song came out 14 years ago, and knowing LowKey, we're going to get some facts here. We'll figure out that this has been going on for much longer than October 7th. Okay, so let's check this out. I'm really excited. Let's see what we got. Look at that. So now I'm going to be curious to see if there is actually graphic or violent pictures and video, or if they're doing this because of what he's saying. This is going to be interesting to see. So, yeah, I understand and wish to proceed. Let's go.
Yeah. This is for Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for the answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine, long live Gaza. Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for the answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine. while we listen to tunes made by ignorant fools. Israel blocked the UN from delivering food. They bring in the troops and you won't even glimpse at the news. They make money off the products that we're quick to consume. And it's not simply a question of differing views. Forget emotions, this is facts, what I spit is the truth. Makes no difference if you're a Christian or if you're a Jew. They're just people living in different conditions to you. They still die when you bomb their schools, mosques and hospitals. It's not because of rockets, please God, can you stop this all?
And I mean, like, that moment should give you goosebumps. Again, I'm more speaking to anybody who's maybe newer to the conflict. I will say, while I've been familiar with the conflict for a lot of my life, this time has been very special. I think the way that information can move around now, and the way that truth seekers have kind of become like a thing on the different platforms, I am way more educated on the history and everything that's gone on than I have ever been in my life. And I super appreciate that that has come out of it. But the fact that he's saying this, that they still die when you bomb their schools, their mosques, and their I think he said hospitals, I'm not sure. We'll let it play out. But that was 14 years ago. What's happening right now? The playbook doesn't change.
Their schools, mosques and hospitals. It's not because of rockets, please God, can you stop this all? I'm not related to the strangers on the TV, but I relate, cause those strangers could have been me. Words could never ever explain the raw tragedy. It's not a war, they're just murdering more rapidly, and we're automatically supporting pure savagery. Imagine how you feel if this was your family.
Free my people, long live Palestine. We will never let you go.
Sing it with me now.
I'm gonna pause it right here. That was a beautiful vocal, but I'm gonna pause it right there because of the last words that he said there. Imagine how you'd feel if this was your family. And I think that's the part that's missing in some of the Western world, that is still supporting the violent actions that are taking place. Let's not mince words. I'll just be straight up. The genocide, the ethnic cleansing, the absolute like disregard for human life that is going on right now. And I think that's the part that's missing. Like I've seen stuff of like, have you seen those things where it's like daycare workers get in trouble because they did something with the kids or they like mistreated them, or whatever, stuff like that. And if you go into the comments of those things and people say, oh, you know, this person better not try that with my child or else. And like, when we see those situations, we can imagine, oh, if someone did that to me or my child or my family, like it's going down. Like I'm gonna take them out, or I'm gonna beat them up, or I'm gonna do whatever. But for some reason in this conflict, we can't seem to do that. Like we can't seem to imagine, what if we were the Palestinians? What if our family were the people that we see in these pictures and videos? What would you do? Bro, if somebody attacked my family, I'm a very peaceful guy. Very, like when we talk about philosophy, ideology, I would like to think I'm more of like Martin Luther King than Malcolm X. However, if somebody is attacking my wife or my child or my parents or my siblings and their intention is to injure or kill them, I'm not using words at that point. Like that's not hard for me to imagine. So anyways, that line really kind of just triggered something in me. So I just want to take a second to talk about it, but let's keep it going.
Free, free Palestine, 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 free, free Palestine.
Palestine remains in my heart forever. We stand for peace, times of war. We shan't surrender. Remember, it didn't start in this dark December. Every coin is a bullet if you're Marks and Spencer. And when you're sipping Coca-Cola, that's another pistol in the holster of them soulless soldiers. You say you know about the Zionist lobby, but you put money in their pocket when you're buying their coffee. Talking about revolution sitting in Starbucks. The fact is, that's the type of thinking I can't trust, let alone even start to respect. Before you talk, learn the meaning of that scarf on your neck. Forget Nestle.
Okay, so clearly in this verse, he's kind of going through like the different brands that either openly or like a lot of records are public. They might not make them, they may not publicly announce them, but they're public for us to see. And like, I think that's the case when it's a public company, which a lot of these are. And so it's not hard to trace where the money goes. And then some companies claim like they don't contribute. So for example, Starbucks has a page where it says that it doesn't. But then it's not hard to see that the CEO, is it CEO or the owner or whoever, founder of Starbucks, he does. So when Starbucks is successful, he's more successful. And if he's more successful, that money's going, you know where. So this is one of those things where it's like, if we live in a capitalist world. So if you want to hurt the capitalist system, the best way to do that is through their pockets. That's just how the world works. So fire part right here.
Bucks. The fact is, that's the type of thinking I can't trust, let alone even start to respect. Before you talk, learn the meaning of that scarf on your neck. Forget Nestle, Obama promised Israel 30 billion over the next decade. They're trigger happy and they're crazy. Think about that when you're putting Huggies nappies on your baby.
Free my people, long live Palestine.
Man, it's crazy. That's the thing too. I don't want to touch on it too long, but Obama is kind of seen as like this knight in shining armor. He can speak really well. I liked the guy in terms of the image that it created for the U.S. However, my admiration for him faded very quickly after 2008 once he came into power, because his foreign policy was atrocious for people like me. And if you're people like me, so people like us, people like who we're talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It was horrible. And yeah, listen, you know, sometimes the truth is hard to hear, but that's just facts.
We will never let you go.
Sing it with me now.
Free, free Palestine, 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 free, free Palestine.
It's not just a war over stolen land. Why do you think little boys are throwing stones at tanks? And we'll never really know how many people are dead. They drop bombs on innocent girls while they sleep in their bed. Don't get offended by facts, just try and listen. Nothing is more anti-Semitic than Zionism. So please don't bring bad vibes when you speak to me. There's plenty of rabbis that agree with me. It's your choice what you do with this message. Don't get it confused, I view this from a human perspective. How many more resolutions have to be violated? How many more children have to be annihilated? Israel is a terror state, they're terrorists that terrorize. I testify my television, televise them telling lies. This is not a war, it is systematic genocide. But whatever they try, Palestine will never die.
Free my people, long live Palestine.
Come on, let's go.
We will never let you go.
Sing it with me now.
Free, free Palestine, 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 free, free Palestine.
Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for an answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine, long live Gaza. Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for an answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine, long live Gaza.
Hey man, LowKey's the truth. His interviews, if you guys haven't checked them out during this recent bout, I gotta stop saying it like that, you know, like it's tough because during what's happening right now, but the problem is that when you say it that way, you're like losing the context that this has been going on for a really long time. But then when you say, it's like, when I say things like round or bout, I shouldn't say that because that almost insinuates equality between the two sides. Like there's equal aggression or equal ability to fight each other, which is really, really not the case. But you know what? That was really good. I really would love to see what the other parts are. I don't see part 2 anywhere. Maybe that got taken down like fully, but I see part 3. It's on GRM Daily. So I think that is something that I definitely need to check out. But free Palestine, man. Like if I don't shy away from any conversation. I've had someone reach out to me on Instagram and said, and people said it in the comments too, and I try my best to reply to stuff. But I've had someone reach out to me in my DMs and say they're super disappointed. They're a supporter. They follow my videos and they're disappointed that I would say the things that I've said and support Palestine. And I tried to have a very reasonable conversation with the person. I was very respectful of their views. And the moment I started kind of like sharing some facts and some history, they ghosted me and they decided they weren't going to talk to me anymore. And that's okay. You know, like I'm totally fine with that. Sometimes that's more comfortable. But if you want to talk and have a productive conversation back and forth, where we can talk about facts and talk about actual history and talk about real things and not propaganda, I am 100% open to do that. And I'm 100% open to learn. I am not the most intelligent or well-knowledged on this. I agree I admit to that on any topic. I think there are people out there that know more than me on any given topic in the world. But what I will always do is share from what I know and what I believe to be the truth. And if someone is able to disprove what I believe to be the truth, then I am man enough and I think reasonable and logical enough to accept that and then kind of take on the what is considered to be the truth or the facts. So I'm not going to shy away from that, and I don't want people to be afraid to voice their opinion if you're disappointed. I completely understand that. But it's important for me that if I am going to continue on this journey and my platform will grow and I hopefully become a bigger channel, that you know from day one who I am and what I represent. And I will never represent kicking the little guy or beating the person that doesn't have anything. It's just not me, right? I'll tell you guys a quick story. I tell my wife, for me, if I see anybody being mistreated, I have to say something. And I was in middle school and I got beat up by this group of kids because they weren't actually beating me up. They were beating this other kid up, and Valentine. And he was very devout Christian. And we're in middle school. And I remember this conversation came up, and this is like 2002 or 2003, something like that. And he said that myself and the rest of our Muslim classmates were going to end up in hell. And anybody who wasn't the same religion as him was going to end up in hell. And these guys were beating up on him in a locker room. And I stepped in and helped him kind of get away. But then they started beating me up. And I got beat up. And it was just, it didn't matter to me that he had said something so awful that me, my family, my classmates were going to end up in hell, which is a really terrible thing to say to somebody. But in that moment, he was a person that was outmatched. He was a person that was being bullied. He was a person that didn't have the strength to stand up to that many people, and it wasn't right. And I had to do what was right, and I will always behave that way. I want to never change that about me. And if that's not okay with somebody, that's not okay, and I'm okay with that. But for the rest of you who rock with me with that, I appreciate it. If you're still here, I appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.